Lego is here. Hey, kids, look. A whole new world to build. 'Cause Lego is here.
The Lego Group started with old Kurt Christensen, born into poverty in Filskop, Denmark. He started as a carpenter in 1916 and opened a shop at 25 years old in Bullen, Denmark. His carpentry business restored buildings, developed structures, and created goods such as ladders and ironing boards for his small community. In 1924, his two sons accidentally set fire to some wood shavings, and it burned the shop to the ground as well as the family's house that was attached to it. He used this tragedy to expand his business by building a bigger shop. When the Great Depression hit in 1930, customers could no longer afford his services, and by 1932 his workforce was down to 7 workers. He began making small wooden toys, bright-colored animals, piggy banks, and cars in hopes of selling them to families with small children. By the end of 1932, he faced bankruptcy and turned to his siblings for help. They helped, but urged him not to make toys anymore. He continued, however, and in 1934 named the company Lego from the Danish phrase "leg godt," meaning play well. He focused on the importance of quality over quantity in his products, and once, when his son skipped a layer of paint to save money, his father made him return the shipment and repaint every toy himself. A price list for the shop in 1932 showed 28 different toys listed, as well as furniture parts and other household items. The wooden duck was a favorite among his customers. It was sold for 22 years, from 1935 to 1957. As it moved along the wheels, its beak would open and close, while a mechanism inside quacked at the same time. In the 1950 Lego catalog, there were over 120 products listed. This time, all of them were toys, including the expected wooden toys, as well as dolls and accessories to go with them. Despite the fact that Lego toys were never sold out of Denmark, they still swayed to trends and crazes of outside competitors. When the demand for yo-yos began sweeping the nation, old Kirk made a large number of these, and when the craze soon died out, he was left with a surplus of yo-yos. He turned the discs on the extra yo-yos into wheels for his new truck, and his idea paid off. The truck was a huge success. This was an important lesson for the company, who avoided popular trends for many years to come. Despite another factory fire in 1942, Lego Company continued to grow, and in 1949 began producing plastic toys. In 1947, Lego Group was one of the first companies to own a plastic injection molding machine. The company spent 2 years designing plastic molds and started their plastic toy line in 1949. The mold parts were assembled together and the details were painted on afterwards with the same level of quality and precision associated with Lego. In 1951, they released the Teddyfire, a small teddy bear flying a brightly colored plane that consisted of 5 separately molded parts that were available in a variety of color combinations. The introduction to plastic toys also marked the first toy Lego felt needed a patent, a toy gun that came in green, blue, and black. Lego was not the only company to consider plastic building bricks. Lincoln Logs, created by John Lloyd Wright, had been growing in popularity through the 1930s and 40s, as well as A.C. Gilbert's Erector sets from America and Frank Hornby's Meccano construction kits in Britain. In 1937, Kittycraft, produced by Hilary Page, made a line of plastic sensible toys which included interlocking building bricks that were studded on one side and hollow on the other. A box of self-locking bricks labeled Set Number 1 included instructions on how to build a small house. However, these self-locking bricks failed to ignite the toy industry, and Page began developing the Kittycraft miniature series, which included plastic soup cans, cereal boxes, and even beer and cigarettes. Lego Group produced bricks called automatic binding bricks, which were almost identical copies of the Kittycraft bricks, except for the corners were straightened, the size was altered by 1/10 of a millimeter, and the slits on the sides of the bricks were taken away. Despite the rising popularity of plastic toys, these bricks were not a huge success. Between 1952 and 1953, plastic toys accounted for 1/3 of Lego's income, while the automatic binding bricks accounted for 5.7% of their sales. Between 1951 and 1955, a large marketing campaign was begun to get the Lego bricks on their feet. Gift sets were released with houses on the box, as well as smaller sets that included just windows, doors, or bricks. Although the Lego name was molded on every brick, each box had a different label on it depicting a different design, meaning the brand failed to secure a memorable impression in people's minds. In 1954, a new window-compatible brick was made that had no slots on the sides and is identical to the brick that LEGO still uses today. The old bricks, however, were slowly cycled out until about 1957. In 1951, when Old Kirk's health began to decline, his son Godfrey, who was the junior vice president, began to run the company at 30 years old. In 1957, Godfrey was named head of the company, and a year later, a few months before the real LEGO brick of today was made, Old Kirk died. LEGO Group had 450 employees when Godfrey took over, and he decided to discontinue the production of wooden toys after the factory they were made in burned down in 1960, the third factory fire in LEGO's short history. Godfrey went to work trying to make sure the LEGO brick would resonate through generations, and that's just what it did. Godfrey began to center the existing LEGO sets around a town theme, which included metal trees, signs, and cars that brought the LEGO sets to life. This town plan system of play was unveiled at the Nuremberg Toy Fair in 1955 and began to catch the attention of the Danish population. From 1957, the products were branded LEGO System, and all the boxes were the same, including 2 to 3 children playing with the town plan design. After 10 years of the original town plan, 1964 saw the release of a new series of basic sets. These sets were different because they included a new design on the box and were the first to feature instructions on how to build certain houses or buildings. It wasn't until 1975 that the LEGO Group began attempting to make figures to occupy the LEGO town sets. Known as minifigs or figs, these first figures had opposable arms and hands while their legs and torsos could not move. This design led to the less detailed figures in 1978, which had no faces, legs, or arms. Released in 1980, the LEGO figure became more detailed and evolved into the minifigure that is the most recognized LEGO element today. Since then, LEGO minifigures have become one of the most widely known and varied toys available, not to mention the largest population. An estimated 4 billion LEGO minifigures are made. That's 12 times more minifigures than Americans. From 1980 onward, LEGO began creating more sets, including trains, space, castle, and pirate-themed systems. LEGO parts, however, were too small for little hands and were a choking hazard for the preschool market. To account for this issue, LEGO came out with Duplo brick in 1969. The name Duplo came from the fact that the bricks were double the size of the normal LEGO bricks. By 1977, LEGO was selling Duplo sets advertised to kids ages 1 to 2, with the Red Rabbit logo still used today. With the release of the LEGO Duplo, LEGO Group also attempted to create Legos for older generations. They came out with the LEGO Technic sets, which were more complex and could be made with several different moving designs. It pushed for more technical building while still providing the consumer with a fun toy after building. Legoland, founded in 1968, was a concept that was the stuff of dreams. The original Legoland was opened in Billund, Denmark, the birthplace of LEGO. Legoland today, however, is far-reaching, including parks now in England, California, Germany, and Florida. While Legoland is a great advertising and retail space for a wide range of LEGO products, it is more than just that. Although most ideas for the original design of the park were considered too big or too difficult, a simple open-air design with a few LEGO cities on display was the model for the first park, opened on June 7, 1968. Dagny Holm was the chief designer who is credited with most of the original work on the park. A sculptor by trade, Holm found LEGO blocks to not be a case of molding and shaping, but rather with making patterns. Together with her team, she successfully reproduced hundreds of landmarks and European towns using nearly 6 million LEGO bricks. One artist named Bjorn Richter, better known as the man who built Mount Rushmore, is a Danish Legoland legend whose intricate designs have been in Legoland since the beginning. Consisting of 1.4 million LEGO bricks and 40,000 Duplo bricks, his Mount Rushmore relief was installed 4 years after it was begun. Not satisfied with this first record-breaking feat, he went on to top it with his Great Bison Hunt relief and his Chief Sitting Bull statue, which stands 36 feet tall and required 1.75 million bricks to finish. His work still stands in Legoland today. The world's first Legoland saw 625,000 visitors the first year it opened. Today, Legoland Billund's annual attendance is around 1.7 million, with 44 million people having visited the park since it opened. Today, LEGO is one of the most widely known and most played with toys in the world. Through time, LEGO parts have become more imaginative, including unique minifigures, parts, and accessories. LEGOs now include sets based off movies, including Toy Story, Marvel superheroes, and even Lord of the Rings. LEGO has also come out with video games, including LEGO Star Wars, LEGO Batman, and even a LEGO Rock Band. In 2009, LEGO was voted Toy of the Century and was the fourth largest toy manufacturer in the world. They employ over 9,000 people and sell to over 130 countries. Their headquarters are still in Billund, Denmark, and in 2009 they made over $400 million in profit. They are continually growing and are just as popular as they were so many years ago.